Undrafted sports viewers, welcome to the U. Alright, we're going to be talking about some conference championship games that happened last night.
Before we get in, I want to introduce our new boy, Jayce, to Undrafted. Everyone say hi, intern.
Thank you, boys. What's going on, Undrafted Nation? Glad to join the squad.
Alright, so we'll get this conference championship stuff going, some review, we'll get some Super Bowl predictions, what we think is going to happen, and we'll have a great time, alright?
Yes,
so let's start it off. Eagles fan.
That's right.
Eagles won convincingly against the Niners. What are your thoughts on the game?
Listen, they routed them. They did what they do with what they've done all year. They won the game at the line of scrimmage. I get it. The Niners were pretty compromised behind the center, but they still have the alleged number one defense in the NFL.
Very true.
30 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Eagles have the number one defense in the NFL now. I don't think it's close. You got a guy like Hassan Reddick who's just been on a tear. 14 points in the postseason.
That's crazy.
I think it's going to be an interesting matchup next week. And they're going to play the Chiefs. Want to touch on that conference championship game too? A thriller last night.
Yeah, definitely.
Little bit of controversy there with maybe some questionable officiating throughout the game. But hey, like Mahomes is back in the big game.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Won the Arrowhead Invitational, the AFC Championship.
The Burrowhead. Oh wait, no, Arrowhead.
Now it's the Arrowhead again, right?
All right, so let's get to Robbie. Just quick touch up on the Niners Eagles. I know there's not really much to say.
I mean, they took control, and the injuries didn't help them, or the Niners. But yeah, I mean that was the Eagles' game to win, and they went and won it.
Yeah, same stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you just hate to see Purdy go down. I mean, you know, he worked so hard to get there. I mean, getting thrown in a situation.
Great story. Greatest story past couple of years, to be honest. Mr. Irrelevant.
I mean, I wish the miracle was true, but, I mean, like you guys said, Eagles just stomped them out. Won the game.
Eagles did what they had to do. At the end of the day, that's what happened. I know you can touch on some points you were saying. You were screaming during the game, actually, so
yes, I was screaming during the game. All right, Eagles, first off, I'd like to point out they're good. They're too good. 69-14 so far in the postseason. 38-7 win. 31-7 win. Against the Niners. Niners haven't lost in 8 games before that. That was their 9th game before a loss. That's crazy. Back to the Niners. I don't care if your quarterbacks are injured. I don't care if you got your 4th string and he gets injured. If you're down by 2 or 3 scores with 10 minutes left, throw the ball. It doesn't matter who's throwing the ball, even if it's not your quarterback. They're either running it up their gut with McCaffrey or running a jet sweep with Debo every play. Eagles knew it was coming. They went 3 and out for the whole second half, pretty much. Like, at least try. Don't fold in the towel and just give it to them. At least try. Throw the ball. Have Wisnowski in there throwing the ball. Have Juszczyk in there throwing the ball. Have McCaffrey.
Well, you saw McCaffrey threw it at the end, too. I mean,
Finally.
It was weird seeing the ball travel that much, to be honest, like after watching them run for so long.
To absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But just throw the ball. You can't be down. You can't be in the conference championship down 2 or 3 possessions with a couple minutes left and just run it and just throw it in. You're that close. At least just try. Just try. Yeah. Show some life.
They gave up at halftime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
that's what
depressing.
I'm saying.
All right. Well, that was a bad game. Let's get to the good game now. Start off with you again. Bengals, Chiefs. Absolute thriller. Like you said, refs caused some controversy.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the game?
Listen, it's before I even mentioned the game. How special is it that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have hosted this game for the 5th year in a row?
Yeah,
I said before, the AFC Championship, it's the Arrowhead Invitational now.
Yeah.
But like
hosted it, by the way. You said that. Hosted it.
Hosted.
Crazy.
But first off, the Bengals, I get it, they're playing with a makeshift offensive line. You can't let Burrow get sacked that many times and on big plays. I don't know. I think a huge part of the game, Chris Jones had his monster game. He's been a monster. Low-key might win the Defensive Player of the Year. I know we both had a great year too, but I think it might be Chris Jones' year. But no, I think the clock management was big. Obviously, those possessions seemed like they were so precious, and Bengals lost 2 of them. One interception by Joe Burrow just looked like a complete miscommunication.
Higgins,
yeah. It looked like he was throwing a comeback and he was going deep.
He had him deep too.
Yeah.
So that's a big, The
other
huge.
one was that tip drill. Those cost you a game and then a terrible costly penalty at the end. Harrison Bucker nails the 45-yarder.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. But what do we all think about that penalty? Yes, valid. I totally stand by it. You can't touch a quarterback like that. Every defensive player knows that in the NFL now.
you hate to lose like that. You hate for your season to end like that. It's a rule.
Yeah.
And it was a good call.
These two guys out of bounds.
Yeah.
Past like the 3 foot white line.
Yeah.
Out of bounds.
Yes.
And
Whether like if he falls down on contact, it's gonna be called. Rather
And I just wanted to say, those refs were trying to protect Mahomes at least a little bit. He's the face of the NFL.
Yeah.
They're not letting him get injured, and the Chiefs make the Super Bowl without him. So, the Bengals should know like that was the right call. Going to our in-house Bengals fan. What are your thoughts on the game? I know it was a heartbreaker. I was with you last night. We were having a great time, and then we weren't. So.
I mean, you make it really hard on yourself when you throw 2 picks.
Totally.
I mean, the Chiefs' defense looked great in the first, especially in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole game, they played great. I think, the Bengals had a chance to come and win it.
Two
late in the
minute,
game,
yeah.
yeah. And couldn't get it done. I mean, when you make it that hard on yourself. I do want to say one thing about the coaching staff, though.
Yep.
How do you not ice the kicker? I'm sorry. Like, you're not... I would never leave a timeout on the table.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta ice the kicker.
I totally agree with that. What are your thoughts on the timeout situation, actually?
Dude, if you got something on the table, man, you gotta let it go.
Let it go.
Fly.
Totally.
Let it fly. You
I
got
think we all
nothing
feel
to
the
lose.
same about that.
You got
though.
nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. But to go back, one thing you guys weren't really talking about, I mean, Chiefs defense was going crazy, but Bengals O-line they made adjustments in the second half.
Yeah, they were giving him time.
I mean, obviously it wasn't enough, but I mean, they limited Chris Jones a little bit in the second half. They gave Burrow chances, and like I said, 2-minute drill couldn't capitalize.
Yep.
And then Patty Mahomes does his thing.
I just wanted to say, I think a huge determining factor that we haven't talked about, Chiefs' run game looked crazy yesterday. We've been talking about Pacheco, but they were looking great. Him and McKinnon look amazing. At one point, me and Bert were saying over here, Edwards-Hilaire's not seeing the field. Imagine how crazy that offense could be if they didn't waste that first-round pick.
Yeah.
They could be absolutely. They already are insane, but yeah,
The way they run their offense, though, is just insane to me.
so efficient.
And like the people that they have, they don't have like they got Kelce, but they don't have like one stud receiver.
Got rid of Tyreek.
Everybody gets in the mix. McKinnon's catching passes. Pacheco's running like an animal. I mean,
yeah, he's crazy.
The Chiefs look good right now.
What do you say about the game last night?
That was a good game.
A great game.
Both coaching staffs at halftime made their adjustments. That was just like a gladiator fest. That was just a crazy game. Like, 2 or 3 touchdowns less than what I was expecting, but the defenses showed up way more than I thought they were going to. And the Chiefs were playing with MVS as our wide receiver 1.
And he was doing
MVS
good.
had a career game last night. And MVS just won a conference championship game with MVS as... Did I say MVS or did I say Mahomes?
You meant to say Mahomes.
Mahomes won a conference championship game with MVS as his wide receiver 1. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. No doubt.
I just want to say something. Rodgers could never do that. Rodgers could never do that. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about that game last
Real
night?
quick, no one mentioned this, and I was listening to the Pat McAfee show today, and I realized, that's a great point. Why did the Bengals punt that ball to Sky Moore at the end of the game? Right to him.
No clue.
No
Kick it out
hang
of
time on the
bounds.
punt.
Yeah.
Kick it out of bounds. They got 27 yards off.
Yeah, and it was I thought he was housing it too.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's like,
woo!
if you kick that out of bounds, even if that penalty still happens later, that's minus 20. Like either you set, and the Chiefs have to run like 4 or 5 more plays.
So one more thing, actually, to add on top of that, you just reminded me. That was the only reason they were back so far was because of that intentional grounding, which I think was total horse crap.
Yeah.
The running, what is the rule for intentional grounding? It's
Okay,
15
so
yards.
you know what? But it was the right call. It looks really bad because
Still in the pocket.
So Samaje Perine, he was there, right? You're allowed to throw that ball at his feet if he's behind the line of scrimmage. The rule for grounding is that the ball has to pass the line of scrimmage if the intended receiver is beyond the line of scrimmage.
Oh, okay, I got
Samaje
you.
Perine was
On the line of scrimmage, basically.
a yard past it, and you can't check it down.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
Well,
So
that's
I
a great
was-
call. I did not know that. I was screaming last night.
And many people were until they showed the line on it, and he was passing.
Okay.
I was wondering because Burrow does that a lot. He does that little just throw away, like take the down,
Doesn't
which is a
get hit.
very smart veteran move. Like that is like I was expecting him to be doing that in 2 or 3 years, but I mean, he's doing what I was
arrived.
expecting him to do in 2 or 3 years already.
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
Mhm.
But he does that frequently. But he was doing that all day yesterday, And then I was wondering why that one got called and the other ones weren't.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, well, I think we got a pretty good consensus on that. Let's get to the Super Bowl predictions. Start off with Jayce, Eagles fan. Let's get a score prediction and Super Bowl MVP prediction.
Okay, so the Eagles control the line of scrimmage. It's been the theme all year. I don't think it changes here. I think they have great possessions, value the football, run the football, pass it when necessary, and make the score on every possession. Right, every possession's got to end in a kick, whether it's a punt, action point, or a field goal. So I think I got the Eagles putting them 34, just because I don't think the Chiefs' defense is going to be able to stop them. They got a lot of young guys in the secondary. Eagles got a great offensive line, so the Eagles are going to put up 34, and the Chiefs are going to put up. Call me crazy. I think the Chiefs are going to put up around in the neighborhood of 17 to 24 points.
Okay. All right. So you're thinking somewhat big dub.
Listen,
More than a possession.
and because I think what's going to happen is the Eagles are going to pull away, start emphasizing time of possession. The Chiefs are going to get a little trigger happy and say, hey, we got to start throwing the ball, moving the ball downfield. The more we move the ball downfield, the more incompletions are obviously prone to happen, which results in a loss of down with no yards gained. So it's just, I think the Eagles will end up just dominating time of possession, dominating the line of scrimmage like they do, and win by a sizable margin because of it.
That's been their makeup all year, so that is a great prediction. And then, so give me your Super Bowl MVP.
All right, I mean, it's got to be the guy up front for the Eagles on defense, Hassan Reddick. He's been so good. He leads the league in strip sacks. He was, I think, 14 sacks this year, along with all the other threats. He's just on an island. You can't double team him because otherwise, the three other guys who had 10 sacks on the defensive line. So I expect him to make a couple big plays. Maybe a big like the Brandon Graham strip sack in the
Okay.
Seal the deal. Hometown Temple guy, Philly area native. He's gonna do it. Hassan Reddick is the Super Bowl MVP.
Okay, I love that. All right, Bert, let's hear your prediction.
Well, it's the Kelce Bowl, but I think Jason's taking it.
Oh, okay.
I got the Phillies winning this game 24-21. I think it's going to be a field goal game. It's coming down to the fourth quarter, but I think the Eagles take it in this one.
All right, so who's your Super Bowl MVP?
I'm going with Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to have at least one rushing touchdown.
Has some.
Great bet.
Yeah, great bet. I'd hammer that one, so good prediction. All right, let's hear you, Boldy.
Sorry, my boys, but Chiefs are winning it. They're going to win on a last-minute touchdown. Travis Kelce, miracle maker. It's written in the stars. It's going to happen. 28-21. Lock it in. Travis Kelce is your Super Bowl MVP. Chiefs win their second one with Patty Mahomes. I think just, like you said, bro, it's going to be a really tough, hard game, but give Patty Mahomes time on the clock. You know what he does best.
Let him cook.
That is hot, Travis Kelce. I
Tutty's
love that.
only in the bully bowl.
Tutty's only.
All right, so I think I'm kind of on the same page as Boley, but on a different wavelength. I think Chiefs' defense is heating up right now, actually. I know Eagles have been a great offense all year, but Chris Jones is looking like a different animal right now, man. He is looking different. I mean, I know Jason Kelce is great, but if he wins that battle at the point of attack, it's going to be hard for the Eagles to move the ball. It really is. So, with that in mind, I still think it's going to be a close game. I think I'm going to go with 21-18 Chiefs. A little lower scoring. Give me Chris Jones as Super Bowl MVP, too. He's going to be wrecking the offensive line. Multiple sacks, maybe a forced fumble.
So 2 Eagles, 2 Chiefs.
Tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker. Eagles.
Oh.
They are too good. They are too good. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching, everything. They are too good. It's going to be a one-possession game, though. What I think is going to happen, all right, so score prediction, Eagles 28-24. Mahomes could even lose MVS this week. He's still putting up 20-plus points in the Super Bowl. Like, I don't care.
The GOAT MVS.
This is coming from a Giants fan, by the way. He's saying the Eagles will win, so I think that's saying a lot.
Yes, I think that Eagles march down. I think that the Chiefs will have the lead at some point later on in the game. I think Eagles march down, take the lead, and then they're up by 4 points. I think that the Chiefs try to march in and score. They can't kick a field goal. They're going to try to go for it, and the Eagles D is going to come up big.
Okay. I love that. All right. That was a great podcast, boys.
Thanks
Thank you
for
for
watching.
watching.
Send us your Super Bowl predictions.
Send us hot takes, too. We'll
Send
do a
us
video
hot
of that
takes,
soon.
and we will put them up.
And this has
It'll be
been
featured.
The U.
You.